It's my story time. I would love to share with you a story about the time when a tiny roach went into my ear. It was in the night. I was about 15 years old. It was in the night, and my parents were spraying some insecticide in corners of the rooms. I said to myself, I must get into bed because they have sprayed the corners of the rooms, and the tiny roaches would probably creep out and want to get into my ear. So I covered my head with a blanket. And that was what I said to myself. I didn't speak it out. However, as I put the blanket over my head, I heard a sound in my ear as if a tiny insect had entered my ear. It was like drum beating in my ear. I got up out of bed and informed my mother, who poured some olive oil in. She poured some olive oil in. I turned the ear that the assumed tiny roach had entered. I turned it up. I might have turned it down so that the oil would run out and the tiny roach would run out as well, would be drained out as well, but I did not know better, so I went to bed. Apparently the oil had kept the insect quiet. Probably the insect was stuck. However, I was not taken to the hospital. My mom worked at the hospital at the time. It was about 4 minutes or 5 minutes right away. However, the roach was in my ear for a few years because I had lymph node under my throat here. I had a lump here, and the ear was very uncomfortable. After 2 years of bearing that discomfort in my ear, this was a day when my mother was off duty at the hospital, so she sent me to the hospital. I went to the hospital and I got registered. The nurse came out when it was my turn. She came out to me and she started doing the assessment. She asked me some questions and I told her that I assumed that a roach went into my ear 2 weeks ago. My mother had told me to tell them at the hospital that it was 2 weeks ago that the roach or whatever insect it was entered my ear. So I told her 2 weeks. I told the nurse 2 weeks. The nurse was so frightened. She spun around and ran into the department that she came from. Shortly after that, I saw a supervisor nurse coming towards me. She came to me and she said to me, "Oh, you are crying. What happened to you?" And I told her that a tiny roach had entered my ear 2 weeks ago. She took me into a little room and she had a device, a round rubber device with a little sprout and a cup with a little design in it. There was warm water in that round rubber device, so she sprayed it in my ear while she fitted the cup. under my ear, and the warm water removed whatever was in my ear, because I looked in the cup and it had some brown material that it looked as if it was a part of a roach. It looked plastic looking and floating on top of the water in the cup. Well, that was it. I got prescriptions to be filled, and I got medications. I got drops for the ear, and it was dealt with over a period of time. It was healed. However, I love to tell you that version in the Jamaican patois dialect. When I was about 16, my mother sprayed the house. She sprayed the room them, in the corner them, with roach spray. That the spray would deal with all of the little insect them about the place. When she sprayed the place, me go in my bed because me feel say me should have covered up my head, because me don't really want no roach to go in my ears. So me draw the blanket over my head and cover my head. And at the same time when me draw the blanket over my head bugado, bang bang bang, ram bam bang bang, ram bam 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 bam, ping, ping 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 tom, pung gong 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 gong, ping ping clash, ping di kong, ping bang bang, rang ping ping ping, pow, ping di dum bum dum bum dum ping dum bum dum clash, ring bang bang bang, dung kung, tang crack crack pass. Hey, the roach in my ears a galang with one piece of thing pan ears drum. Master God, a frighten. He load. So, me jump up out of the bed and me go tell me mother. Say, roach drop down in my ears. She takes some olive oil and she pour it down in the ears well. Yes, she threw it down in there, and that was it for she. Me lie down back in the bed. It look like say the olive oil drowned the roach. So me never feel nothing for weeks and weeks. Me never really feel nothing till me feel one lump underneath me throat, yeah, so. And it did for a long time, maybe over a year, going up into 2 years. So when it did bada, me know one lady tell me mother, say, you know, say, you better you make she go to the hospital. Make she go to the hospital. So on the day when my mother got fair day off, she said, me alone go to the hospital. Me one have to walk from where me live. Me have to walk about 3 miles and go at the public hospital. I set down my name, wait me turn. The nurse come out with her pen and her folder, and she asked me, say, what happened to you? So me tell her, say, roach go down in my ears 2 weeks now. Marco, and my mother tell me the nurse that. When me tell the nurse that, the nurse turn around and run straight back in the little room where she come out of. Left me there standing like that. Just like that. Me thought ball. Glasses there on face, you know, but me a ball and a wipe yeah, water. So, right about that time, a nurse supervisor come out. And she say, yeah, ball. Oh God, yeah, ball. What happened to you? So me tell her, said the roach going on me ears about 2 weeks now. Anyway, she take me in one little room and she take one round rubber something. Round like ball, but he had one open spout. And he had some warm water in there. So she hold me ears over one little cup where she out with that purpose. And she fit it underneath me ears nice, and she take the round plastic rubber ball with the warm water and she squirt it in my ears. Squirt it, 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 squirt it in my ear. I want to squirt it in my ear. Hey, in Jamaica, one of ears, and two of ears too. So she squirt it in my ears. And the warm water run out in the cup. And when I look into the cup, swimming on top, floating on top of the liquid that was in the cup was a brown piece of something looking like a part of the wing of the roach. So I tell you how parents can send them picking one go hospital and take away for themselves. Who can tell you if it a lie? I see him say it come. Anyway, the era right now and has been for years. Quite alright. No trouble, no pain, no lump, no nothing. A year out good. Hey, that was my story.